Was that Ms. Farmer talking? Who was talking?
It was Ms. Barras.
I'm sorry. I didn't hear.
Ms. Barras was speaking.
Ms. Barras was talking. Okay, great. Sorry, I was looking elsewhere, so I didn't see the screen pop up. All right, so for Rodney Moore. All right. Where are we with that?
There's a placement search, and I think there's another placement option. So we're just needing a little more time to work out the details.
Okay. Is Mr. Spence here?
I don't see him on the Zoom.
Okay. What I'm going to do is I'm going to start issuing a summons for the mom, and I think we probably need to do a show cause on indigency, because evidently she's driving a Jaguar, and so I'm not sure anybody driving a Jaguar is qualified for a court-appointed attorney. So, of course, if it's not hers, it's just a rental, then that's different. But you know, if it's in fact hers, then so I think we review that. But you know, I know Grandpa's been showing up for everything, but Mom evidently is local in the area. I don't know why she's not appearing at these proceedings, but I think Mom needs to be involved in this process as well. Not that I don't like Grandpa, but you know, a parent's a parent, right? So, okay, so still, Ms. Barrows, you're saying we're still in a placement search?
Right, there's he was I think Granbury was an option, but we were talking, Ms. Farmer wasn't it, Oaks was another option.
Okay.
Yes, Judge, they found one placement, but Mr. Jarman's looking at an alternative placement next week, and we're waiting to hear back from that one.
So how much time do you think we need?
Do we have any, do you have any openings next week?
You know, even if I don't, Mary finds a way to put it in there. So,
Okay.
I mean, just, you want to reset it for a week?
Yes, please.
Okay. All right, well, I'll do that. Just made my docket entry on this one, and then hopefully it'll be done. We'll see y'all next week.
Thank you, Judge.
All right, thank you.
Good afternoon.
Do we have anything from Ms. Guerrero or Ms. Blair, either one? Question, who is Mr. Spence's supervisor?
Oh my God. I just
What's her name? Oh, it's Leanna Judd.
Okay, great. Great.
Yeah, with Mike.
He's not in trouble. I just didn't know how to run up the chain. Okay, well, thank you. All right, what about next? What do we got? I guess, Mr. Adeniji, you're here for Jamal Wright. I guess we're waiting on Mr. Reed's here. Okay. So for Jamal Wright. Where are we at with Mr. Wright?
We have not been able to reach an agreement, Judge.
On a failed ID case?
No, there's a more serious charge.
Judge, I'm not sure why it's showing that way on the docket sheet. This is a determinate sentence on.
Okay. Yeah, because, all right. The jacket, I guess the original case was a failed ID.
That is correct, Judge.
I was about to give you two a very hard time for not working out a failed ID case.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So can't work out a deal. There is grand jury approval on this one, correct?
That is correct.
All right. How far apart are we? I mean, are we way apart? Like
very far apart, Judge.
Okay. All right. Well, what are we thinking? I mean, is there, in good faith, do you think you can negotiate, or we should just start looking at a jury trial or bench trial?
At this point, Judge, the family, they are thinking about their options, and that may include retaining another attorney. So at this point, I can't make a commitment as to how soon we are, how far we are, and all that stuff.
Child 16. This child is in detention, right?
That is correct, Judge.
Yeah, so we're approaching 4 months. Yeah, we've passed 4 months of detention. Okay. Well, we're at the point now where they either need to poop or get off the toilet. If they're gonna seek outside counsel, then they can do so, but we can't just leave them sitting here. I want to set it for 3 weeks for announcement. And at that point, just needs to make a decision. Either we set it for an agreement or we start scheduling a trial.
Is there any chance the judge will release him with electronic monitoring this morning?
Not even if the answer is no, because they don't even know if they want you as their attorney.
Well, they have no choice now. I'm the attorney of record.
Right. No, I understand. I can't even remember. First question is he even level 1-0?
Miss Cruz? Yeah, muted. We can't hear you. We can't hear you.
I think he is. When I talked to him last, he was on 1-0, but I'm not for sure.
Your level of confidence is discouraging.
Well, no, it's just that he has been on it recently.
Right.
And I'm just not for sure if he's still
I spoke to him last night, Judge. I believe he's still on level 1 outstanding, unless something has changed.
See, discharge firm. So this is a drive-by shooting?
No.
No.
There was shooting, but it's not drive-by.
Well, I'm just seeing shot at a house, shot at a car.
Oh, there are different paragraphs in the thing about this reckless discharge.
There are different offense dates, Judge. We're talking about multiple incidents.
Yeah. Either way, that cuts out pretty bad for your client, Mr. Anuji. Yeah, there's multiple shootings. I'm not inclined to release them.
Except that it's gotten better since it's been in detention, Judge.
Yeah. No, that's just, you know my thing with kids and guns. That's just,
I know.
But, so, well, I mean, that's all factors for whether, what the disposition is. But right now, pre-adjudication, when kids shoot at other people, it takes a lot for me to release them.
Allegedly, Judge.
Okay, thank you for asking that, Mr. Anuji.
Thank you.
I'm gonna go ahead and reset for 3 weeks for announcement.
Yes.
If you can let the family know that
they're on Zoom right now. The mom is on Zoom. The family is on Zoom, Judge. So
which
they're
one's the
here.
family? Is that the iPhone?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So, parents for Mr. Wright. Here's the deal. if y'all intend or entertain the idea of hiring new counsel, this is going to be the time. It's good. Once there's a trial set, then it gets more and more difficult to find an attorney that's willing to take a case because they may not have adequate time to prepare. And so right now I'm not going to, so what bothers me is, so we're kind of looking at this conflict, right? On one hand, I really don't like to release kids that actually used gun or are accused of using guns in crimes, okay? On the other hand, I don't like kids to sit here and just sit here and sit here. That bothers me as well. So once we get, and I've been warning the parties, once we get to 120 days, then that's when I really start pushing. It's a little bit longer for homicides, but on some of these aggravated assaults, 120 days is kind of my benchmark. And then I really start putting pressure on the attorneys to move the case. Understanding that your son has been in custody this whole time. So I'm resetting this for 3 weeks for what's called an announcement. What that means is the attorneys have to tell me either they're going to work a deal out or they get a trial. And if they want a trial, it's a trial in front of me or in front of a jury. But they have to announce which one they want. And they have to tell me. If they can't decide, then we just set it for a jury trial. So sometimes not to decide is to decide. So to let you know, it's important to me, I'm pushing this. Now, if you do intend to hire new counsel, I highly encourage you to hire somebody before the announcement. Because in 3 weeks, if they can't tell me what they're going to do, I'm setting it for a jury trial. Then that makes it more difficult for you to find an attorney that's willing to take the case. Okay? Now, you've been on mute this whole time. And so I see you nodding, though. And so I just want to make sure I can explain this to you so you understand the process going on here. I don't want you to be, so to speak, in the dark. Okay? All right. So I'm resetting this, but it's going to be an announcement. I'm expecting the parties to tell the court or inform the court where we're going with this one. If we have a jury trial because of coronavirus, we're not certain, but we're looking at setting it January, February. Okay. So, all right. Okay. Well, thank you, everyone, regarding Mr. Wright.
Thank you, Judge.
All right.
Judge, I have another thing that's been put off on your docket.
Let's see.
Dakota Reynolds.
What was? Oh, yeah, Reynolds.
Yes, it's been reset, Judge.
That's right. Mary told me about the reset. Thank you,
Okay.
Mr. Arniji. Have a wonderful weekend.
You too, Judge.
We have Ms. LaChance here. I'm assuming you're here for Mr. Schneider?
I am. He's traveling out of town for a wedding, so I'm filling in on Mr. Cole's case.
Of course he is. Does he even work anymore?
Hey, I plead the fifth on that. Regardless, I'm here.
You're here. Okay, so this is Jaramillo, correct?
Yes.
All right, this is the one.
The post 18 certification.
Okay, that's right. That's the one that, that's why the name's familiar. Where is it? All right, so because we're broadcasting on YouTube, we're live streaming this since, Open Courts Act, let's just be a little discreet about any facts or allegations. All right, so sometimes being vague is good. Cryptic. All right, so post 18, I guess we came in September. We had the discovery given. There was no offer. So we have grand jury approval at this point, right?
No, it's a certification.
No. I'm sorry, certification.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Trying to juggle everything. All right. I guess my question is, since it's a post 18 cert, what are we waiting for?
We're in discussions about a resolution. Even as late as this morning, Mark emailed us. I think we're hoping to work it out, I believe. So I'm hopeful for that. But if not, if it gets set for a hearing, we have some subpoenas that we need to issue to obtain some records before we can proceed. But I mean, even as late as this morning, we received an update from Mark. So hopefully we can work this out.
Okay.
That's pretty accurate. We're still in discussion. I need to still need to consult with the victims a bit about some options. In light of the subpoenas, I'd ask if the court sets it for a contested hearing, I'd ask the court set out some time. One, I know they'll want some time, and two, these may be ones that we may have some hearings about whether they get the subpoena. So we want to have some time to litigate that or to kind of sort that out.
Hey, look, the child is over 18, so I'm not as stressed with time because there's, you know, he's only eating up his own time. So if he needs more time for subpoenas or discovery, I mean, that's on him. So I don't have the pressure on the juvenile justice side. Yeah. Yeah, if y'all don't, I mean, this is one of those, I don't know any of the facts, but typically on these, like it makes my heart happy when we can resolve it in the juvenile court before the cert. So anyways, yeah, I mean, if it was Mike Schneider asking this time, I'd question him and grill him. But if Emily's doing it, then why Emily?
Well, and to be fair, I think we're getting I think we're closer to a resolution than the alternative.
Okay, fantastic. All right, well, thank you. We're gonna put my entry. I'm just gonna reset it according to normal. Mary will just set it about a month out.
Okay, thank you, Judge.
Thank you.
Thanks, Emily. Oh, she's gone.
Okay. Let's see, we're waiting on. So, Mr. Mulder, I see you here. What case are you here for?
Kendrick Giles, Your Honor.
Okay.
I just substituted in probably yesterday, just got hired on Wednesday.
Okay.
So I'm brand new on it.
That's why you're not on my docket. Okay. You still had Mr. Adler listed. All right. So, Mr. Reed. Oh, wait, he's on the phone. We'll give him a chance to finish up. Nice to meet you, Mr. Mulder. I don't think we've had the pleasure. I'm Alex Kim.
Nice to meet you, Judge.
All right, Mr. Mulder, we're still paper over here. Do you mind? I wrote your name in as counsel. Could I have a phone number for you?
Sure, 214-953-1919.
Great. Yeah. And you said you sent the substitution?
I believe so, Judge. On the detention docket, I'm actually listed, so I think it's something that's in progress being updated.
Like I said, we're still paper files, so it sometimes takes a couple days for the clerk to get it in.
So my only concern at this time is just getting a chance to get the discovery either, again, fresh from the state or trying to get it from the previous attorney.
Right. So Mr. Reed, do you have a preference? Do we want to ask Mr. Adler? I mean, everything's digital now. It's not like the old days with big files.
Mr. Mulder, do you have access to TechShare Prosecutor?
Yes.
Okay, well, let me check the system right now and see if your name's on there, and then I'll just make sure everything's open. One sec.
Just one. They're good. They're good. Okay. Collection without jalapeno?
I mean, I like them. I just.
Mr. Mulder, I think that you're now assigned and the file should be open to you on TechShare.
Okay, great.
If it's not, just please let me know. And I did convey an offer to his prior attorney of 8 years. And that was the last setting.
Okay.
But I guess we'll get another date and go from there.
Yeah, and I'll download all this and take it over and see Kendrick and visit about it. Well, they'll let me bring a laptop in there, won't they? Because I'll just download it all.
So what are we looking at?
To determine a sentence on an aggravated assault against a peace officer. That I offered 8 years on it, Judge.
Okay. So he's been in for 84 days.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Mulder, I think you probably heard me talking earlier.
I did.
Yeah, that 120 is where really, like, I kind of turn like, I'm not gonna say a jerk, but I'm kind of disagreeable.
I understand.
Since you're here that long, so y'all still have time, but once we hit that 120, so I try and encourage people to try and resolve it before then. But once we get to 120, I'm pretty much gonna ask for an announcement, and we'll just move on from there. Okay. So,
understood.
how much time you want to reset it for? Just a month is good.
That's fine.
So, Mr. Reed, you opened up all the discovery on TechShare?
Yes, Judge.
Okay. Okay, great. Mr. Mulder, pleasure meeting you. Mr. Reed, thank you very much.
Nice meeting you. So I see you again at 10:30 for the detention hearing?
For the detention hearing. It's a different, you should have a different email because it's a different Zoom channel.
I did.
Okay, great.
All right,
Thank you.
I'll see you.
We're waiting on, let's see. Mr. Reed, do you know, yeah, we already passed Alvarado. So we're just waiting on Poca Sangre and with sign the Yanni passed. All right. All right. I know Mr. Adler's in the building. Okay, Mr. Reed, I think you're done with your docket for today. We just have Mr. Richmond and Mr. Adler is what we're waiting on.
Thanks, Judge. Have a good weekend.
Thank you. You too.
Judge Kim,
Yes.
I know Mr. Adler was I think in Judge Porter. I'm assuming he should be done here soon. He is in the building.
I'm trying to figure out why you're going to bat for Mr. Adler. Oh, no, that's fine.
You need to see my experience about running.
Yes. Is he in the building or?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
I got a noise complaint Wednesday night after I left the church.
Over what?
And well, I went up to the apartment and listened. And, I mean, you just hear, you know, it's loud.
Like music?
No, you hear somebody running around doing whatever.
Okay.
So I'm going to the apartment, knocking the door 3 times before they finally opened it. And it's this pregnant lady. I mean, she's about to drop this baby in a minute.
Okay.
And she's got a 2 and a 3-year-old. And I see the 3-year-old do a cartwheel across the living room. And I was like, she's like, I want you to do it for 2-3-year-old. She's coming down. I'm like, I get that, but you chose to live on the 3rd floor. You can't let your kid do a cartwheel. People live below you. It's like, come on. This is a freaking brain surgery.
It's like, I'm not unsympathetic.
I said, I get what you're doing. I do. But those people below you don't want to listen to it all night. I went to Morrison
Judge Kim?
Ms. Guerrero,
Yes, sir.
did you ask for me?
I was just letting you know that Mark was logging on for Polka Thunder.
Mr. Adler's here in the courtroom. So, all right, Mr. Adler. This is for Puka Sangre. All right, Little Blood.
Yeah, Little Blood.
All right, Mr. Richmond, your thought? He's only been for, okay. How's he only been for 2 days? We're already set. Was he?
This case was pending and he got picked up on a EM violation / evading.
That's right. Okay. All right. Well, what are y'all thoughts?
I don't know how, Mark and I haven't talked, Your Honor. I don't know how he wants to proceed. I'll go see him after this, though,
Okay.
and he and I can have a conversation if he's going to be here.
Yeah, I sent over an offer a day or two ago. I figured Mr. Adler would maybe need some more time to go over that. So,
Sure. All right. Let's see. He's 15. Okay. I mean, I'm not particularly stressed. He's only been in for 2 days. And so, yeah, I mean, just reset her for just another month, like regular. Mr. Adler agrees. Mr. Richmond, is that acceptable? All right. So I'm going to reset this for negotiations. All right. Thank you, Mr. Richmond.
of course, Your Honor, no problem.
Okay. We'll be here.
All right, thank
The
you.
last one, actually, for this morning's docket.
There you go. Nice and easy.
All right. We'll see everyone at detention hearings. Thank you.